Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global Television. And this is Business Point, where we talk about trending and topical issues in the business sector. And today, agriculture in Nigeria plays a crucial role in the country's economy, providing employment, contributing to GDP and ensuring food security. Nigeria is blessed with fertile land, diverse agroeconomic ecological zones, and a vast array of agricultural resources. The sector consists of various subsectors, including crop production, such as cereals, vegetables, fruits, and cash crops, livestock farming, fisheries, forestry, and agribusiness. Despite its potential, the agricultural sector in Nigeria faces several challenges, including inadequate infrastructure, limited access to financing, outdated farming techniques, post-harvest losses, and climate change. However, the government, in collaboration with private sector stakeholders, has been making efforts to address these challenges and promote agricultural development in the country. Joining me to discuss about agriculture in Nigeria and the prevailing economy is a lecturer and a farmer, Richard Kuku, who will be joined by me just after the short break. Please stay with us. Many thanks for joining us. Now, if you've just joined us, this is Business Point on Global Television, and we're looking at agriculture and the prevailing economy in Nigeria. But before then, let's take a quick highlight at some of the news that made the round in the business world. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has explained the cause of the long queues in some filling stations in Lagos State. The NNPCL said the tightness was a result of what it called a brief distribution issue. The NNPCL spokesperson, Femi Shonaye, dismissed insinuations of fresh fuel scarcity, disclosing that the NNPCL did not have supply issues, saying its product remained readily available. He added that the distribution issue in some areas had been resolved. Now, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has expressed concern over the increasing violation of its limited interim regulatory and registration framework and guidelines by digital lenders, commonly known as loan apps. In a statement signed by the Acting Executive Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Adamu Abdullahi, the Commission highlighted a surge in infractions as more Nigerians engage with various loan apps. Dr. Abdullahi announced the Commission's commitment to intensify enforcement efforts, ensuring digital lenders and comply with regulations. Now let's turn to Kikelomo Okiri for some updates on business reports.
Irish note as the all-share index declined by 0.73% to close at 103,659.81 points, down by 761.42 from last Friday, 104,421.23 points. The market breadth was slightly negative as there were 27 gainers against 28 losers. Some of the big stocks lost heavily, as such as MTN Nigeria, which recorded a 5.52% loss, Access Holding with a 3.7% decline, and Transcorp with a 4.22% loss. There was a 440 billion naira decline in the equity as market capitalization declined to 56.72 trillion naira from last Friday's 57.16 trillion naira. In terms of trading volume, there was a 10.8% decline to 841.55 million units from last Friday's 943.51 million units. Concerning value, there was a 17.7% decline in trading value to 19.33 billion naira from Friday's 23.48 billion naira. The foreign exchange markets traded calmly as the naira maintained gain following recent policy measures introduced by Central Bank of Nigeria. After trading, the naira appreciated by 1.10% as the dollar was quoted at 1,419 naira, stronger than 1,435 naira quoted on Friday at Nigeria Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market (NAFEM). According to the data obtained from the FMDQ, the local currency gained twice at the official market since the CBN commenced a series of FX policies adjustments last week. Dollar liquidity remained unchanged as the daily FX market turnover stood at $440.13 million on Monday, the same as of Friday. The head of technology for African Agriculture Transformation Clearinghouse, Solomon Giso, has revealed that African nations collectively spend approximately $20 billion annually on importing wheat. He stated this during a train-the-trainer workshop on wheat seed production in Kano State. According to him, the ongoing Ukraine-Russia crisis has led to supply disruption and increased wheat prices in Africa, resulting in substantial financial burden for the continent. Giso pointed out that Nigeria possesses the necessary resources to cultivate wheat domestically, not only to sustain itself, but also to supply neighboring African nations. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Many thanks for that report. Agriculture in Nigeria plays a crucial role in the country's economy, providing employment, contributing to GDP and ensuring food security. Nigeria is blessed with fertile land, diverse agroecological zones, and a vast array of agricultural resources. The sector consists of various subsectors, including crop production, such as cereals, vegetables, fruits, and cash crops, livestock farming, fisheries, forestry, and agribusiness. Now, despite its potential, the agricultural sector in Nigeria faces several challenges, including inadequate infrastructure, limited access to financing, outdated farming techniques, post-harvest losses, and climate changes. However, the government, in collaboration with private sector stakeholders, has been making efforts to address these challenges to promote agricultural development in the country. My guest will join me via Zoom, who is a farmer and lecturer, Kuku Richard, to discuss agriculture in Nigeria and the prevailing challenges just after this quick break. Please stay with us.
Hello and welcome to Business Reports on Global Morning. The NGX started this week on a bearish note as the all-share index declined by 0.73% to close at 103,659.81 points, down by 761.42 from last Friday, 104,421.23 points. The market breadth was slightly negative as there were 27 gainers against 28 losers. Some of the big stocks lost heavily, such as MTN Nigeria, which recorded a 5.52% loss, Access Holding with a 3.7% decline, and Transcorp with a 4.22% loss. There was a 440 billion naira decline in the equity as market capitalization declined to 56.72 trillion naira from last Friday's 57.16 trillion naira. In terms of trading volume, there was a 10.8% decline to 841.55 million units from last Friday's 943.51 million units. Concerning value, there was a 17.7% decline in trading value to 19.33 billion naira from Friday's 23.48 billion naira. The foreign exchange markets traded calmly as the naira maintained gain following recent policy measures introduced by Central Bank of Nigeria. After trading, the naira appreciated by 1.10% as the dollar was quoted at 1,419 naira, stronger than 1,435 naira quoted on Friday at Nigeria Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market (NAFEM). According to the data obtained from the FMDQ, the local currency gained rise at the official market since the CBN commenced a series of FX policies adjustments last week. Dollar liquidity remained unchanged as the daily FX market turnover stood at $440.13 million on Monday, the same as of Friday. The head of technology for African agriculture transformation clearinghouse, Solomon Giso, has revealed that African nations collectively expend approximately $20 billion annually on importing wheat. He stated this during a train-the-trainer workshop on wheat seed production in Kano State. According to him, the ongoing Ukraine-Russia crisis has led to supply disruption and increased wheat prices in Africa, resulting in substantial financial burden for the continent. Giso pointed out that Nigeria possesses the necessary resources to cultivate wheat domestically, not only to sustain itself, but also to supply neighboring African nations. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Many thanks for staying with us. And if you've just joined us, the program is Business Point, and we're discussing agriculture and its prevailing challenges in Nigeria's economy. Like we said, Nigeria is blessed with a fertile land, diverse agroecological zones, and a vast array of agricultural resources. The sector consists of various subsectors, including crop production, such as cereals, vegetables, fruits, cash crops, and the rest, livestock farming, fisheries, forestry, and agribusiness. And despite its potential, the agricultural sector in Nigeria faces several challenges, including inadequate infrastructure, limited access to financing, outdated farming techniques, post-harvest losses, and climate change. However, the government, in collaboration with private sector stakeholders, has been making efforts to address these challenges and promote agricultural development in the country. I'm joined by Kuku Richard, who is a lecturer and a farmer. Hello, Kuku.
Yeah, hello. Good day, man.
Many thanks for joining me on the program.
Sorry, I actually joined very late. I was a little bit busy this morning.
That's fine. That's
So
fine.
how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. We're discussing agriculture in Nigeria and its prevailing challenges. What are the major challenges faced by farmers in agribusiness in Nigeria?
I think one of the major challenges, I think, is transporting agricultural products to the markets. Because most of agricultural products are done in the rural areas, and it's very difficult to get them to where you can see the market. Then I guess um, establishing contact with your, let me say, the people. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Please go on.
Hello?
I can hear you. Please go on.
Hello? Yeah. Like I said earlier, the major challenge is getting ready-made products to the market. Then, hello? Network is very bad.
Okay,
Hello?
many thanks. I'm also joined by another guest, Mr. Lugard Okonobo,
Hello?
who is the... Okay, just a pause. I'm joined by Mr. Lugard Okonobo. Do we have him?
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Lugard. Thank you for joining on the program. We'll get back to Kuku Richard while we're still trying to connect with him properly. He's just established that having to convey these farm products to, these designated places or places of consumption or markets has been a major problem for farmers, as well as lack of appropriate tools for farmers. What are the challenges do farmers face in the agribusiness?
Thank you for having me. Sorry, my voice is a bit down because of the cold. But I need to say here that agriculture, as we have it, revolves. Can you hear me very well?
I can hear you clearly. Please go on.
Agriculture has 5 P's. We have 5 P's in agriculture. We have the P of production. We have the P of processing. We have the P of packaging. We have the P of packaging, and we have the P of promotion. So I take it again. We have 5 P's in agriculture: production, processing, preservation, packaging, and promotion. And I can tell you, in Nigeria today, across these value chains in agriculture, we have problems all across. Infrastructure is key, financing is key, but government needs is key to be able to address the challenges that we're having in the agricultural sector. We look at production today, look at what the farmers are passing through at the point of farming. We have cases where women are raped in the farm. We have cases of poor infrastructure for them to have accessibility to their farmland. We have difficulty in accessing farmlands to even farm because of the system of land system that we operate in Nigeria. Then in terms of processing, we need equipment that are high-tech based modern days equipment that can process our agricultural products that will enable us to be very competitive in the international market. Even at the local market, you still see that we have poor processing capability, and that is affecting that the average farmer earns from farming. So, in terms of the packaging, you can see that the woman that has been selling cashew along the express road still just buy the cashew without well packaged, and that way is also affecting the acceptability of such products wherein such market, I mean, such producers can be able to get the value for money for whatever is being found. So the challenges are all over. I always tell the set of women group that I work with that it's not just finance, but we should look at other areas and challenges that they passes or they go through in terms of agriculture in Nigeria.
Have you? Okay, Mr. Lucas,
Hello.
would have to look at the main. I want us to look at the main agricultural products and sectors driving Nigeria's economy. What are these products that are driving Nigeria's economy that we can look into?
No, first of all, we can look at palm oil because virtually everything we do, we cook, definitely within the palm oil value chain, you can get so many other products from it. So palm oil is very important. We also got cassava. Gari is eaten by everyone in Nigeria. So if you look at that population demography that takes cassava on a daily basis, that's a very huge market for us. Then we can also look at, well, cashew is also good, but not everyone has the financial power to buy. But we need to look at those agricultural products that are staple foods that we take every day. If you look at vegetable, for instance, you need it for, I mean, to cook your soup, to do so many other things. We also look at yam. We eat yam every day. So these are things that are cross-cutting across the entire 36 states and the FCT. So agricultural products, animals are also there.
You
So
just
we
check
look
for
at
it.
those.
Just now. It said it has been designed but not printed.
It's inside that second one.
Okay, we'll just take a quick break. We'll take a quick break. And then when we return, we'll look at government policies and programs that support agricultural sector, especially, I want us to look at the Anchor Borrower program introduced by the CBN. Well, please stay with us, we'll be right back. Many thanks for joining us. And if you've just joined us, this is Business Point on Global Television. And before the break, we've been speaking with Lugard Okonobo, who is an analyst. And he's spoken extensively about the challenges faced by farmers in the agribusiness in Nigeria. Mr. Lugard, I want us to look at government policies and programs that support the agricultural sector. We know of the challenges, but can you highlight some of the programs that you think supports the agricultural sector and what can be done? And I also want us to look especially at the Anchor Borrower program that was introduced by the CBN. We have Mr. Lugard. Okay, we'll take a break and we'll be right back shortly. Or if we have Kuku Richard, is Kuku Richard still on the line?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess Mr. Lugard is back.
Hello.
Yes. I was asking,
Yes, of course.
can we look at some government policies and programs that are supporting the agricultural sector, especially the Anchor Borrower program that was introduced by the CBN? I know we've highlighted some of the challenges faced by farmers and agribusinesses, but let's take a look at these programs and how impactful they've been over time. And then what happened, or how is the Anchor Borrower program going?
Well, I'm aware of the Anchors Borrowers Program, and but you see, what government should begin to look at going forward is coming up with policies that will be driven more by the private sector. We've seen a lot of challenges in the Anchor Borrower Scheme, and the challenges are basically size because we have persons who leverage their political network to influence the system, and that way the dividends that is expected in the Anchor Borrowers program has not really trickled down to the real farmers. Don't forget, we have what we call political farmers. We have briefcase farmers. Briefcase farmers are those that carry people all around. They talk. If they do the talking before you, even you yourself, you'll be surprised that is into farm because they know all the grammar to speak to convince whoever they want to convince. For the political farmers, they use their political network to get whatever approval that they want, and now begin to transfer benefits to third party and fourth party. And by the time that is done, the dividend is not achieved. And that's one thing that the Anchor Borrowers program has suffered. Not just the Anchor Borrowers program, several other policies and programs that have been designed by the federal government and state government, they always fail. Why? Because of the politicization and intruders from behind that affects it. So what do we need to do? Government needs to provide that enabling environment and focus strictly on regulation, monitoring, and evaluation. I call it ROME. Federal government or state government, whatever programs they design, they should focus more on regulation. Give the money to the private sector. If you are giving it to the financial institution, give the financial institution the funds. Give them the template under which they will operate. Regulate them, monitor them, evaluate them, and set up a reward system. A recognition system. You can have categories of awards. You can have those that you recognize for doing the right thing, those that you reward for being outstanding. And I tell you, by the time government begins to do that, then you will now be able to see the actual impact of government policies and programs on those who are the real farmers. But where government will give a policy and be in control of the funds to determine who and what for that will have access to that funds, you will always see that it will be politicized. If I know somebody that is big up there in the society, I use that influence to influence the system, and I tell you, if you are there as the head of, whoever that will approve, you are subjected to prejudice to give approvals for who? For people who comes through the back door, who are not mere farmers. And this is one of the things that has affected all programs of government, not just in agriculture, but also in other sectors. So when you see programs and policies or ideas that are designed, very fantastic, beautiful presentation, well strategy designed, but what you see in terms of implementation, you see a lot of failures. Performance are always far below expectation. Why? Because of so many intruders that comes in using their political network.
Many thanks. Now, yesterday at the gathering of women who are farmers, the NWAP, some of the challenges that was highlighted is that actually there are policies and programs that are in place to support farmers, agricultural, in the agricultural sector, and their challenge and their plight and what they're appealing for is that most of the farmers that these grants and loans are given to are not real farmers, are not grassroots farmers, are not the farmers that go to the farms, just like you said, those ones that know the language of farm, they understand the grammars related to agric and all that. Now, what can be done to bridge this gap to see that these policies, these programs, and these grants and these supports get to these women who are farmers themselves, the actual farmers?
Technology is key, if I will say at this point, and that's one area that we'll begin to look at. We need to begin to bring in technology to drive our agricultural system. What do I mean by that? Time has come that the country as a whole should be able to digitize the database, the demography of farmers, not just the women farmers. As I speak to you today, there is no link anywhere on the website or anywhere, even online, that I can click. And once I click on that, I'll be able to see the number of people who are farming ginger in Nigeria today. There is no easy accessibility to demography for me to know who are the women farmers, who are agriculturists, who are those who are trading on palm oil or whatsoever. So when we bring in technology to drive agriculture, we'll be able to checkmate a lot of these abuses. And I will say this, take a clear scenario. I have someone in the presidential villa. I meet the person that I need him to facilitate approval for me to get maybe some huge sum of money from the alcohol borrowers. The person said, okay, go and submit your proposal. I go there, I submit proposal. I bring back the acknowledged copy to him. He facilitates and I get approval. Nobody has asked. There is no real data to show that I'm an actual farmer. All the person will do is to get the photographs and videos and activities that are already been done by someone, takes possession of it to do the application. Even online, you can get pictures or whatsoever to do. But if I say I'm a farmer, the first thing you need to do, take a digital technology-based solution to first of all get my identification. Then two, if I say I farm, where is the location of my farm? All you need to do, put it on a GPS map so that if I say I'm the owner of this farm, with GPS map, you can track and trace that farm. Today, we don't have that solution yet. How is it possible for you to have you can't have 2-3 persons laying claim to a particular farmland. But when you bring digital technology and you have my personal identification as a farmer, which I will call the
Okay, I think we have a bit of network challenge from Mr. Lugert's end, and he was just talking about infusing digital technology into farming. Mr. Lugert, are you there? Okay, we'll go on a short break, and hopefully when we return, the network is stable so we can continue this conversation. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. And as always, this is Business Point, and we've been speaking with Lugado Konobo, who is a farmer and an agriculturist, as well as an analyst. We have difficulty still connecting with him, but I think this is where we call it a wrap on the program. We should have, you know, another lineup for tomorrow as regards agriculture, where we'll be speaking extensively on technology and how technology is being utilized to enhance productivity and efficiency in the sector, as well as the role the private sector plays in driving agricultural development in Nigeria, and climate change as well, considering environmental factors and impact on agricultural productivity and sustainability. Would also be looking at the current state of market access and trade opportunities for Nigerian agricultural product. And of course, agriculture's contribution to job creation and poverty reduction in Nigeria, as well as strategies and initiatives being implemented to increase agriculture's contribution to Nigeria's GDP. And not to forget to mention the FX prices and how it affects the product of farmers. And that's where we call it a wrap. Make sure to keep a date with us tomorrow, same time here on Global Television. We'll bring you another angle of Business Points. Many thanks for staying with us. I am Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching, and see you again.